We are live. Thank you for tuning in. Let me help you, a loved one or friend, find your vegan soul through food, people, events, and culture. September is National Gum Care Month, and we are speaking about your mouth being the gateway to overall health. And here to join us in this discussion is my holistic dentist, Dr. Terry Victor, owner of the DC Dentist. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. Just want
Absolutely.
to greet all of everyone out there that we're here to talk about your overall health and your holistic health and all of that good stuff.
I love it. And folks, if you're joining in, you can add to the discussion by asking questions and making comments. So let's start with this question first, Dr. Victor.
Mhm.
What is holistic dentistry?
Yeah, that's a very good question because a lot of people ask me that. A lot of people ask me like, what is that? They haven't never heard of it before. Well, for me and for us at our office, holistic dentistry is seeing that there is your mouth is one of those things that really you need to take care of for your overall health. So holistic dentistry is how is it that you use alternative therapies, homeopathic remedies, supplementation, aromatherapy, all of these things to take care of your oral care, take care of your mouth to make sure that everything is healthy and clean. It is something that is not quite not a lot of dentists do it. But for me, it was important because I think that that is to use less toxic materials in when you use your oral care is something that we are very passionate about. So it was something for me when I was deciding how I was going to practice. That is my lifestyle, and so I include that in my dental work and see how I can bring that to dentistry. And there's some organizations that are there that people belong to that do that. But that's how we decided we were going to do holistic biological dentistry, alternative therapies, to do stuff that are less traumatic, to do stuff that are more healthy for our patients.
I love it. And you're located in DC. So, folks, I
Yes.
travel all the way down from Maryland
Yeah.
to DC to see this is the top rated. I think you've won best like several times,
Yeah.
several
Yeah.
years. The best
Yeah.
dentist, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The Washington City paper. We had the best dentist for I think for about 7 or 8 years, and it's been really good. It's a testament to what people find at our office.
Awesome, awesome. So, folks, I'm gonna copy the website so that you can go to it and get more information on Dr. Victor and his services. But another question that I want to ask is, how does oral health affect your overall health? I mean, my mom used to tell me this years ago, like, don't date a guy whose teeth are all messed up. His health are going to be messed up. So, how does this work?
That's good advice from your mom. The way that it works, dentist, your mouth is the gateway to your body. So there's so many different things that happens in your mouth that affects the rest of your body. So even just for example, today I had a patient. He's going to get a hip replacement, and before he gets that hip replacement, his doctor needs me to sign off that everything is okay with his teeth, that there's no bacteria in his mouth, because the bacteria that's in his mouth doesn't just stay in his mouth. And just like everyone else, that bacteria goes from your mouth, it goes through the rest of your body. So it does. There's a lot of different things about how your mouth and how your teeth relate to your overall health, because dentistry is related to a lot of different things like Alzheimer's, it's related to diabetes, it's related to all of these different medical conditions that if you have dental issues, it also makes it more likely that you'll have issues in all of those other areas too. Heart attacks, high blood pressure, all of those things are related to oral health and how it is that your oral health, your mouth health affects the rest of your body. So it's not it we try to get people to understand, our patients to understand that your mouth is not isolated in itself. It's a part of the rest of your body. And a lot of times when people want to take care of their health, they need to be also include their oral health in that. So you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get your blood pressure down, you're trying to get your diabetes down. You have to include, or I shouldn't say you have to, but you should include things to do with your oral health, which is going to help you achieve some of those goals. So even with your people you talk about nutrition a lot. It's very good to talk about nutrition because that's also a part of your oral health. Because when you have good nutrition, it generally means that you have good oral health. So that you don't, you stay away from the sugar, you stay away from the processed food, you stay away from all of those things that are not that great for you.
I'm glad you said that about the healthy food choices and staying away from the sugar, because what I'm seeing nowadays are the young kids. I mean, it's the first thing they're introduced is to
Yeah.
candy, and
Um,
parents may not be showing them the right way to brush their teeth, because they have to brush their
mhm.
teeth or before they go to bed. I learned that at the dentist, that you should always be brushing your teeth before you go to bed, because that's the time when the bacteria is really building up and can really
Yeah.
ruin your teeth, right?
Yeah. It's very important because what happens is bacteria like cold, dark, moist environments. And especially, I mean, warm, dark, moist environments. And especially if there's particles of food that are left on your teeth, that's bacteria heaven. So if your mouth is closed for 8 hours of the night while you're sleeping, those bacteria are multiplying, proliferating. So that's why the most important time, it's always important to brush your teeth, but most important time is when you before you go to bed at night. That is the most important time. If I have to put a time on it, that is the most important time. Yeah.
How does stress show up? I mean, we're living in which stress is everywhere in what we
Yeah.
do. Good stress, bad stress. How does that show up in your mouth?
Oh my God. Yeah, stress. And and in this time, this particular time in history, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of not knowing, whether it's a job stress, not knowing if you're going to have a job and all of those things. And all of those things can be that your mouth responds to all of those things. So it could respond by you grinding your teeth more. Generally at night, you're grinding your teeth more. It could respond with you having more cavities. When we're stressed, we tend to eat more, and if you're going to eat those kind of like, you know quote unquote comfort foods that you have, usually they're not that as healthy as they could be. So it could, for your mouth, stress could mean more cavities that's in your mouth. It could mean you have more areas of recession. Once you grind those teeth, your gums start to go down, and it exposes your teeth, so therefore that causes more sensitivity in your mouth. It causes the roots of your teeth to be exposed. It can cause your teeth to be loose. All of those things. Stress is like a real killer in dentistry. I shouldn't
Mm.
say killer, should I? But it's
Well, no,
something that's
stress is
really,
the
yeah,
killer.
yeah,
It's a silent
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, the silent killer. It's something that causes a lot of damage in dentistry and to your oral condition, because it could cause your teeth to become loose. It could cause you to have like all kinds of different kind of like issues. So it's really not, it's really something that we need to manage, and something that we need to maintain, something that we need to control the amount of stress that we have, because we do have in this society, we do have a lot of stress, and the stress comes from a lot of different places. So it's really helpful to try to manage that.
Toothpaste. Now we hear no
Yeah,
fluoride. Fluoride isn't
yeah,
good, and then you have these big organizations that say it is good. What's the
yeah,
best toothpaste and mouth rinse to use? I use a charcoal toothpaste.
yeah.
What are we looking for in terms of
In
ingredients?
toothpaste, okay, so I get this question a lot, right? What is it that we look for in toothpaste? Um, I would say there are a few things that you want to look for when you're in toothpaste, when you're looking for toothpaste. The toothpaste should not have any sugar in it. So anything that has sugar in it, or any of those things that are disguised as sugar, any of the ways that sugar is disguised, you have to really look at the ingredients and make sure that there's no sugar in it. The other thing, because what sugar does is sugar feeds the bacteria that's in our mouth, and that bacteria in our mouth with the sugar will proliferate. And just as I spoke about before, if you go to bed at night with um, sugar on your teeth, or you don't brush your teeth, if you have that sugar in your toothpaste, and you have that environment that produces more bacteria, then the bacteria eats on that sugar. So one of the things is to make sure that no sugar, and the other thing is to make sure that no alcohol in the toothpaste that you use. And just the same thing with sugar. The same thing with toothpaste is the same thing with mouth rinse. Watch the alcohol and watch the sugar. So alcohol is that when you look on the ingredients, anything that has OL on it is like alcohol, propofol, all of those alls, those are alcohol. So you really want to stay away from those. You want to do more of the toothpaste and the mouth rinse that have more natural ingredients on them. So that if you have like anything like, I don't know, cinnamon bark or something like that, or you have that anything that has like natural ingredients, that's really what you want to look for. And then you also want to look for in toothpaste and mouth rinse anything, they shouldn't have like those long names of something that you can barely pronounce, that it's some kind of chemical that's in it. If it
Right,
has some of those, it probably means that there's something in there that is like a chemical that you could probably do without.
right.
So just the natural ingredients, none of anything that's added is not really that great. You can the reason that you use toothpaste is to have maybe some kind of abrasion, or to have some kind of something with you can put on your toothbrush. So it really doesn't have to be something that is has like a lot of chemicals in it. It can be something that is really kind of like simple, and something that's very natural. And that the what the toothpaste does is it just kind of like it assists in taking particles off of your teeth. So it really just can be very simple.
And how
The
long
same
should
with the mouth rinse. The mouth rinse is to get like larger particles of stuff. When you swish it around, is to get larger particles of stuff off of your teeth. So it doesn't need to do the same. It doesn't need to have like a lot of chemicals on it also.
and how long should you be brushing your teeth and rinsing your mouth with the rinse?
So I tell people you should brush and rinse your mouth after every time you eat, right?
Hmm.
But sometimes what happens is that's not very practical to do. So because you might be out, you're just with friends, and you're going to get something to eat. What you want to do is you want to brush your teeth, like I said, at night before you go to bed, and again you want to brush your teeth in the morning when you get up, and then also maybe around lunchtime when you have lunch. If you do those 3 times, then usually you're pretty good. If you can't do the lunchtime one, then the morning one and the night one is the most important. And the same with mouth rinse too. So the time when you brush your teeth, what you want to do is you want to brush your teeth, do the mouth rinse. And actually, what is even better is to be able to floss.
Mm.
Flossing is almost better than brushing, because what happens is when you brush, you can even take out those big particles of food that's on your teeth by rinsing, but brushing doesn't get in between your teeth. So that's where the floss comes in. It gets in between your teeth. And then what it does is that it takes off those food particles between your teeth, which the toothbrush or the mouth rinse does not do. So the flossing is so much better than I would say better, but it does a lot more than just like brushing your teeth.
Now, is there a certain amount of time you need to spend with the toothbrush in your mouth or with the swishing?
Yeah, I don't really have like a time, with the swishing. I mean, even if you do that for like even if you do that for the swishing and stuff for like a minute, but just make sure when you do the toothbrush that you get all areas of your mouth,
Okay.
because the toothbrush will get like like the sides, and on the inside, the tongue side, it'll get those areas, and just go through them one time. But the key is the flossing. Flossing is the really thing to that gets you good oral health, is the flossing. You're laughing.
I get a probably a D plus or something like that, a D minus. I'm working on it, but I know it
Yeah,
really is good. Now I've
yeah.
gotten into the oil pulling recently.
Oh,
What
okay,
are
yeah,
the benefits or no benefits of
yeah.
oil pulling, and how
Oil
often is it
pulling,
recommended?
yeah. So let me just tell people what oil pulling is, right? Oil pulling is when you get a particular oil, and what you do is you swish it around in your mouth. You swish it around, swish it and swish it and swish it, and you hold it for a while. And what it does is that it's supposed to kill bacteria. and it's supposed to be good for your gums. So the oil that you use, it would be like a very organic coconut oil or black seed oil. And I tell you, I have a periodontist that comes to our office, and she teaches at Howard University, and she did a study at our office with black seed oil and whether it decreases the bacterial count in their mouth. So our staff would, every time she would come in, she would take samples, they would swish, and then she wrote a paper on it. And it turns out that with the she used black seed oil, it turns out there was a significant decrease in the amount of bacteria that's in your mouth after you did the oil pulling.
Wow.
So it's something that statistically is proven that it works pretty well. The thing with oil pulling also is that when you swish that, when you swish that out, like when you swish the oil in your mouth, what you want to do is you don't want to spit that down your sink. You don't want to spit that in your toilet. You want to throw that in the trash. What you spit out, you want to throw it in the trash because it's such a concentration of bacteria. You don't want to put it down into your you don't want to put it down into your pipes, is
Right.
something that they've said with that. But it's statistically, they said that it works really well. And I have a lot of patients that swear by they use oil pulling, and they say that it works very, very well for them.
Well, I'll let you know because I just
You're
started
gonna
it
you're
a
gonna
few
try
months
it?
ago. Yeah, yeah, no, I started it a few
Okay,
months
good.
ago.
Oh, okay.
How often do you say? Because in the box it says, is it every day? Is it every
Yeah,
week? They like want you
yeah,
to build up to 2 minutes to 10 minutes. Like how often
yeah.
and how long?
Yeah, I would say that if you're going to do it, then it can be done once a day, and I would do it once again at night. So the same thing that we talked about, you brush and you floss before you go to bed, and then you do the oil pulling is the last thing that you do, so that you can have some of that oil sitting on your teeth as you go to sleep, because it'll kill bacteria. And as far as how long, I think that they've said that you're supposed to do it between a minute and 2 minutes,
Okay.
at least to start. So then if you're, and because sometimes when you start, it's like it's harder to maintain that. But if you can do it up to like 5 minutes, then that works out really good too.
Let's talk about your culture in the DC dentist, hospitality and welcomeness. Now, me,
Uh-huh.
from experience, I've been there several times, and it's always welcoming. Everyone is so nice. You like, and I'm not surprised you're rated the best. How do you
Yeah,
instill that? And it's comfortable. Because I can tell you,
yeah,
my husband was going to one dentist and they put a needle in his mouth and he never went there again. But he's comfortable going to you.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that when I was originally setting up my office, that was my intention. That's what I wanted to have. I wanted it because a lot of times people are when in dental offices, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. It can be intimidating. It can be impersonal. And I always wanted, when I finished school, that I wanted my office to be a place where people would feel at ease, where people would feel relaxed. So the staff, I think, are really good at it. They genuinely want to welcome people and really want to make them feel comfortable. And I think that that's part of what dentistry might be lacking, because sometimes it can be so kind of like sterile and so kind of like open your mouth, no, close your mouth, no, do this, do that, as opposed to just really being in a position where you're able to make people feel comfortable about what's happening in their mouth, because sometimes people are even embarrassed about the state of their mouth, and to not be kind of like judgmental on that, but just like, how is it that we can make this better for you? How is it that we can fix it? And my staff at the front is like, welcome, we want you to feel like your presence here is valued, so I think the people that we hire, they just happen to have that kind of, that's what I'm looking for when I hire. I want people that are friendly. I don't want people that are like, making up their face all the time. I want people that smile. I want people that laugh. All of those. I want people to make people feel comfortable. So that's how we hire, and then we have things that we do at our office that promote them to do that. You know. So people are really. I mean, we get a lot of compliments about our staff and how friendly they are. Which is really good. For a dental office, it's really good. And I think that that's why our reviews, I think that that's why our reviews, we have a high number of reviews, and I think that that's why people give good reviews to our office.
Well, I can tell you that I am extremely comfortable in your office. You just finished replacing a crown that I've had
Hmm.
on my mouth for what is it? What would I tell you, about 10, 13 years, because it was
Yeah, yeah.
loose. So Dr. Victor replaced the, and then, now that I'm talking about it, talk about the metal, because what type of crown was it and what did you
Mhm.
replace it with? Because now it looks
Okay.
like a real tooth.
There's a type of crown that in dentistry they call porcelain fused metal, PFM crown, right? So what it is that the portion of the crown, the substructure of the crown that sits on your tooth is the metal, and then they put porcelain on top of it. So that's why they call it PFM, porcelain fused metal. But we don't use those crowns because they have metal in them. I try not to put metal in people's mouth because metal, I think, is not something that's really intended to be in our mouths. So what we do is that when we take those crowns off, then we replace those crowns with a ceramic, an all ceramic crown. The ceramic crowns look much more like your natural teeth, and then they last for a long time. They look good, and that's what that we use. In what we see as holistic is we try not to put a lot of, well, I don't put any metals in people's mouths. A lot of times people come to our office to take out the metals. So in your case, they see that they have a metal because a lot of times you don't know what those metals constitute, whether those are very, very base kind of like, just low quality type metals. There's no way for you to tell if that's what's in your mouth because all the metals look the same. So a lot of people come to get those metals taken out and because they don't want the metals in their mouth either.
Yeah, you covered up a small filling that I had, like whatever,
Mhm.
like I don't have any metals in my mouth at this time.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah,
believe. So it's awesome, and I'm getting used to the crown and eating and everything. So
yeah.
it's a fun time. Um,
Good.
I, I had some other questions that I think some of the patients have sent in, which is great. They're really engaged in this. What can be done
Yeah.
to alleviate teeth grinding in addition to nighttime mouth guards?
Oh, wow. In addition to mountain night guards. Okay. So some of the things that you can do is the reason a lot of times people grind their teeth is because of the stress. And then what happens is that stress throughout the day, when once your body is now relaxed in at night and when you're in bed, then that stress is kind of like released and a lot of times released in your teeth, and that you can see by grinding your teeth and or by clenching your teeth. So there's a couple of things that you can do for that. Of course, there's like the night guard that you could do. What the night guard does, and we make a very special type of night guard that's very kind of comfortable. What the night guard does is that it forms a barrier between your upper and your lower teeth, and then it also is able to dissipate that force that you're generating. One thing people might want to try is to some relaxation techniques before you actually go to bed. Maybe some meditation, maybe some just some relaxing kind of like before you actually go to bed. Sometimes what we do is we're busy during the course of our day. We maybe go take a shower, we change our clothes, and we just jump into bed. And then that stress from that day is still sort of there. So maybe if you took some time to just kind of like just relax a little bit before you go to bed, that might help with that. One of the things that also helps with releasing muscle tension is magnesium. So magnesium, what it does is that it causes your
Yes.
your muscles to relax. So
Yes.
maybe you might want to try some magnesium also. There's a homeopathic remedy called they call it magphos, magnesium phosphate. And this magnesium, homeopathic remedies come in these little pellets, and you can get those at like Whole Foods or something like that. But that one is called magphos, like magphos,
Okay.
magnesium
Yes.
phosphate. And
Yes.
that also is something that you can use, that you can take before bed. It would relax the muscles, and it would probably relax you too, so that it might help with that grinding also.
I love it. You're speaking about it, the boron line. It sounds like because we take.
Yeah, Borean. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
They have that.
boron USA, and folks, I'll put
Uh-huh.
that in the comments because I live by
Yeah.
that, and we use
Yeah,
it
yeah,
in
yeah.
our household, and this everything works.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And
yeah.
if you can't get that, just magnesium itself, like, as as a supplement, magnesium would help with that also.
Awesome. We have another question coming in from one of your patients, but this isn't about dentistry. This is more broader than dentistry. They want to know about less effective chemicals included in supplements called synthetics, and where can you find these supplements in pure form? And then there's a question about finding fresh fruits and vegetables that are not GMO or that type of stuff. And I can answer that one. But with the
Yeah.
supplements and the synthetics, can you answer that? Like
Yeah.
where
I
they can
mean,
find that?
you always have to be careful with what kind of supplements that you take. What I would say is that you really need to know the source of the supplements. And once again, you need to read, just like I talked about with the toothpaste and the mouth rinse. Really look at the ingredients and on what is it that you're taking. The supplement that he's mentioning, I'm not quite sure what that particular supplement is, but you have to, if you want something in its pure form, you have to a lot of times you have to do the research yourself, and sometimes you have to be a little bit you have to go a little bit deeper than the surface level of just looking on the internet for something to make sure that you're getting rid of whatever it is that you're looking for. And I'm sure if they're talking about non-GMO and that kind of fresh fruits and vegetables. There's, I know here in DC and probably Baltimore also, there's a lot of farmers markets. There's a lot of independent farmers that do a lot of stuff that grow organic. It's a lot of even black farmers that are around doing a lot of stuff like that. And I'm sure you can point them to that direction also.
Yeah, so you kind of answered that question for me. I was going to ask the question about foods that stain your teeth and how to avoid that. I mean, someone was telling me one time that they drink tea or things like that that may
Hmm.
stain your teeth with a straw to avoid it getting in contact with the teeth. What
Yeah.
do you say about that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because now, a lot of times people want their teeth white, right?
Yeah,
Like they want to whiten, like your teeth are like nice and white, right?
thank you.
So,
That's because of you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So people want their teeth white. There are a few things that really kind of like can stain your teeth, like coffee, cumin, those sorts of things that are some like spices and other things that can stain your teeth. What you if you're able to get those things off of your teeth like right away. So for example, if you drink coffee and you're able to at least rinse your mouth out, then at least that doesn't that at least stops the buildup of the that stuff on your teeth. But if you drink coffee every day, after a while that coffee is going to build up on your teeth. When you come to the dentist, we can take it off with just like one of those machines that we have. But if you keep on doing it, it then just gets right back on again. So the key is to making sure that if you're going to do it, you can like rinse it off, you can brush it off, you can get like an electric toothbrush works really well with that also. If you get an electric toothbrush, it can do a little bit more than just maybe just like a manual toothbrush. And I think that would help alleviate some of those things.
I love it. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Folks, we're going to be closing out soon. I
Mhm.
appreciate you coming on, Dr. Terry
Yeah.
Victor. Is there
Thank you.
anything else you want to add to the discussion before we close out? Like this is
Yeah.
the dentist's information. I put the
Mhm.
website in the comments. So
Yeah.
I really hope that folks come and visit you because you
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. The only thing I want to add to your audience is that you have to treat your oral health as well as your other health, other aspects of your body. Your oral health is so important to other aspects of your body, and a lot of times we neglect that. So if you are wanting to improve your health, then include your oral health in that. Include coming to your dentist so that you can get that taken care of, bacteria taken out of your mouth, your teeth fixed, your teeth replaced. All of those things are very, very important.
We have one question that came in. Thank you, brother Deke. Any thoughts on investing in a mobile dental unit to go to schools in the DC area?
Wow, that's an interesting concept. Yeah, I mean that might be something that we might want to do, because then you can also teach the young children about oral health, and if you can catch them young enough, then they can build those habits to when they get to adulthood, that they don't have to need a lot of work on their teeth. Yeah, that's something that could be investigated. Thank you, Dietrich Rush. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
How best can they reach you, Dr. Victor, for bookings or
Okay.
lectures, things like that? Because I'm sure you're
Yeah.
well sought after. You've talked at the Vegan Soul Fest a few
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you're on
We've
here.
done yeah, we've done a few of these. You can call at the office 202-544-3626. And our friendly staff will get the information that they need. And also, the staff at the DC dentist is our email address. Just staff at the DC dentist, and they could reach me that way. And we'd be happy to see any of your people that are on the call right now.
Well, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on.
Absolutely. I know I'm due to come down there for some work, more work. I won't say I'm looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to it. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure,
Yes,
Dr.
thank you. I
Victor.
appreciate it. Yeah, I
Sending
appreciate the
blessings.
opportunity. All
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
All
Have a
right.
great one.
Yes, you too. All right. Okay. Bye now.
Meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are, on their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are earth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.